So, welcome everyone.
Howdy.
Welcome back to the Human-Centered Ownership and Measured Excellence course, also known as HOME. We are here for week 3. Hey there. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and head down to where we need to go because I think we've explained the top already. Once again, though, for these parts, if you do click them, you can go right to the meeting. If you like, let's say you missed a session, you can go there in order to watch the video and see all of the materials that we go over, and then the direct link to the inspection documents there as well. So you can just click those down and click them open if you don't need them. We are here week 3, and we're going to go over observations today, the observation cycle. We're headed out to the backyard if you're following us around the house. I'm going to head to the meeting page now. And you can see here at the title, Getting Ready to Be Seen. So for week 3, we're headed to the backyard, as I said, the place where a good neighbor leans over the fence to see how things are growing and going. This week, you'll get matched with a colleague, ideally, for a peer observation and learn the one skill that makes it happen, scheduling an event with another person in Outlook. So we're going to do a little tech literacy. If you're comfortable with this, then it'll just be a review. Your main focus would be to try to find the person to observe. There are people out there that are unfamiliar with this process, though. So making or scheduling an event in Outlook, that's going to be one of our main takeaways here. But before we do, in order to kind of gain attention here in the room, we have another digipad for y'all to find something. You all are going to be bringing the entertainment to the backyard. And I don't know how you all feel about karaoke, but I like doing karaoke. We're not going to do any of it in here unless there's like a special after after class meetup. But I want y'all to think about if you were to do a song, somebody put your name on a piece of paper and said you have to go up and do karaoke. What song would you want to do? So that's what our digipad is here. I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple links in the chat for the people who are in the room. If you're watching this later and you're here, you should already be on this page. So that's the shortcut to where I'm at for this meeting. And then more specifically, if you need to get to the digipad, if for some reason it's not showing up when you click open event number 1, you can put that one in there. Any song is fine, even if it's a song that you don't really want to do at karaoke. Just, I don't know, put your favorite song in there. But I put LCD Sound System. Daft Punk is playing at my house because Daft Punk is playing at our house at this party. So I'm gonna put this on for about a minute to let some other songs kind of fill up the screen here, and then I'll probably make some comments about some, and then try to see if anybody will sing, and then we'll get started with our main lesson. Y'all can't hear that. Let's see. How about? Oh, pause the music. Anne Marie has a hand. Tell me what's up, Anne Marie.
Oh, I'm just being the worst student ever. Uh, so I haven't had a chance to do any of this, but
Okay.
I just thought I'd jump in today.
Okay.
So
So
I
maybe
jumped
you're
in.
not
Okay.
able to get into this, right?
Is that, well, I haven't done anything. So is it that I have to do week 3 isn't available? It's like grayed out. Is that because I haven't done anything else prior?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna go ahead and take I forgot to take I usually like to take it off the day of so that nobody's working ahead. But if you refresh your page, it should show up now. If
It's
that
okay.
link.
It's not a big deal. I was
Okay.
just, I was just jumping in, just
Yeah.
trying, sink or
Well, you're
swim.
in. You like I said, it should be available now if you refresh your page, and anybody else who's was having problems, you should be able to get in there now.
And just because I'm going to be a techie needy person.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the first one. So this homeboard thing,
Yeah.
uh, you want a link or
Some people are there's a way to add a video. Like if you press this plus button and then you could put a link to a YouTube video if you have a song that you like and want
okay.
to put it in there. You don't have to. You could just put a title like, maybe your name and what song you would sing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So let's see here. We've got Julie. Is Julie in here? No, Julie sent hers in. I like that she went with backyard as we are in the backyard. Oh, this is a good choice. I can put that in there for you, Curtis. Hmm, let's see if I can find the link. Put this one on.
Daft Punk is playing at my house, my house. I'll show you the ropes, kid, show you the ropes. Got a bus
Oh,
and a trailer at my house, my house. I'll show you the ropes, kid, show you the ropes. I bought 15 cases for my house, my house. All the furniture is in the garage. But that funk is playing in my house, my house. You got to set them up, kid. Set them up.
that's right. You got to get them all set up, ready to play. Who put Eiffel 65, the Blue Dabba Dee Baba Da song? I think it's
Yo, listen
Anonymous.
up,
Yeah,
here's the story
Rachel.
about a little guy that
I'll stop it before it gets stuck in everybody's head. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. This is a good one. Who's pumping it? Oh, Hannah's pumping up the jam. Pump up the jam. Okay, we've got Deanna with Galway Girl, not the Ed Sheeran version. Let's let the record show.
It's a different song. I actually don't mind the Ed Sheeran version, but it's a different song. He just
Okay,
stole the Celtic old school title.
got it. Janice is doing Don't Stop Believing by Journey. That's a classic, karaoke classic. Everybody will sing along with you, I think. And then Chris, Chris is doing the happy birthday song. I just saw that. Oh, Dean going with some Weird Al. Nice. I like Weird Al. I like the Star Wars Weird Al one. Long, long time ago. Okay, let's get focused here, everybody. Thank you for your submissions. I don't know how I'm going to change the image for this week to reflect that, but maybe it'll have a bunch of people holding microphones singing around.
Man, I thought we were gonna have a sing along for the Weird Al. I know
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we could have
I, I know all the lyrics to that one.
after session.
My mind is here and it can guide.
Yes, there we go. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, we got to get focused. So, everybody, today, here's our objectives. By the end of this session, you'll be able to create a calendar event with another person in Outlook and send the invite. And then you're going to explain the three parts of the observation. Observation going to be broken down into three parts, and I'll explain those shortly. You're going to leave with an observation partner and a first meeting on the way to your calendar, and then you're going to have a plan to do your home inspection this week. If we're looking for alignment, we're thinking observation is kind of like one of your responsibilities. And then also, what is that? Making calendar invites is, that's something that is related to responsibility. I would say more technology literacy. But we have leading students and supervising learning environments, and then the course learning outcome, this is just our CLO 1. So we're going to assess our current teaching practice and identify areas of growth. So speaking of growth, we want to think about the growth that we picked out in meeting number 1, or actually, sorry, the inspection document from week 1. This is what we're going to be using as the basis for our observations. So we all filled them out. And then what the observer is going to do is they're going to take a blank version and then come in and kind of compare to what you did as a self-assessment, and then what somebody else can observe. I'll speak more about the observations in a second. This isn't like it's not something that you need to really be nervous about. It's more like if you need somebody like a second eye at something to see, kind of, we all think we're doing a great job, and I'm sure we are, but there's always gaps that maybe we're not able to see. So for this form that we're going to start with, this is to help us to get the schedule straight, because we're trying to find a time that like matches up for 2 people. So the way that I have this form set up is you're going to write your college email here. That's going to be helpful for later on when we need the email addresses. And then just like generally during the week, when would you be free to be observed? You're not going to be observed. Like hopefully you can set up a thing where you can observe with another person. But this is just to set up the schedule. Like there's logistics that have to be done. So like let's say any time that you are like teaching class or meeting with students, then you're going to leave that area blank, right? So you can think of it as like not available, right? Nothing that's filled out means not available, okay? So if I were to look at this and fill out my email here. And then what I'm going to do, I've got my calendar over here, and I'm just going to look at this week and say when I'm free to be observed. So if anybody, actually, sorry, I don't know what I was just talking about. I'm thinking about making a meeting, but this is actually when you do want to have, like, you're going to click when you have classes. Okay. So when you would want somebody to come in, if somebody were to come in to your class, what time would you want them to come? So I teach a class on Fridays from 9 to 12. So that's the time that I'm going to fill in as I'm available to have somebody come into my class. If your availability changes weekly, that's going to be a little bit difficult. Maybe you could just put what your schedule is, like what you think is like a pretty consistent time. And then you could always, this is just to like try to match people up. If there is like a time where you're like, okay, I think that I'm usually here in the classroom at Tuesdays on 1, just like put that one there and like check that time off. And then when you meet up with the person, so the observations are going to start with like where you meet with them for like 30 minutes and talk about it. You can find an actual time, like more specific time. This is just generally when are you free to be observed. And then if you have a specific date, like, okay, let's say I'm Friday, and I'll say, oh, I want you to come into my class on the 24th. So I would just click this little calendar icon and then click on the 4. So so this would mean I'm available this Friday between 9 and 12. Okay. And then this would be, so I think in my mind, I flipped them. This would be when are you free to observe somebody else? Okay. So this is where I would look at my schedule and say, okay, I'm pretty open on Tuesdays. So I will say I'm free in the morning on Tuesdays, or I'm free in the afternoon on Wednesdays. I have a lunch hour that I'm free on Thursdays, and then I would not put Friday 9 to 12, right? Because that's when I'm going to be teaching my class. So I'm not available to observe somebody else. Okay. And the best days for me to observe are Tuesdays. So I'm going to be like, 21st would be good for me, 7/21. Okay. So once again, to be clear, when you are free to be observed means when you would like somebody to come into your class, and then pick the ideal date. That could be this week, next week, 3 weeks from now, like whenever you think that you would like somebody else to see how you're doing. And then when are you free to observe someone else? So once you're done, you would just click the submit button. And then let's see here, it should show up live if I'm looking down here. If I click submit, I should get, unless I have to refresh it. Let's see here. Your responses have been recorded. I have so I embedded this one. I had to use a Google form. Usually I use the Microsoft Forms, but um, they don't have this kind of grid in Microsoft. So I'll put this one together in Google. And then I also embedded the responses down here. So if if you want to find somebody, the formatting is a little strange. It's here. When are you free to be observed? So here are the times. So this would be 8 a.m. So Hannah is free to be observed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays at 8 a.m. Do you teach class at 8 a.m. on Hannah?
Yes,
Y'all got
I
the
do.
early. Okay,
8 to
nice.
10.
Let's go. Get it
Mhm.
get
Let's
it in
go.
early.
Drink your coffee. Let's go.
Yeah, right. There you go. Okay. Um, that's tough. That's a Monday. That's a Monday morning too. Ooh, okay. And then yeah, so what I'm gonna do is as this starts to get filled in a little bit more, I'm gonna use the school enterprise version of AI with no names attached, to find some times that overlap. So like we'll take somebody who is available at this time to be observed and then available to observe and then try to match it up. So I'll do that in the background as we continue. But please, if you can, put your times in there. Um, is there any questions here before I move on? I know some of y'all are still working on this, but
Okay, so
yeah.
dude, my hand was up. I did official hand up and
Oh,
everything.
I didn't, it kind of blends
Jeez.
in. It blends in with the
Oh,
yellow.
well, I should have just waved at you.
Yeah.
Hello. Um, I have an asynchronous class, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
So people can go in whenever they want and
oh, there
look
we go.
whenever they want. So I don't know. I mean, should I had this thought that, okay, well, maybe I should pick when, the day after I would return things, but I don't, but can they read what, I mean, what are they looking at? Are they going to be able to read comments that I have to students because that's where a lot of the teaching goes? Or do they just go in and watch my random videos that I have? Or like what are they looking at?
There's no time that you're like talking with the students online?
No, it's all asynchronous.
Oh, interesting. Um, maybe for the observation, you could kind of go over like some of the stuff that you do in your course. Like go like you could meet together on Zoom. You could
Mm-hmm.
show your course and say, here's how I organize my course, and this is how, this is where this is what my assignments are. This is what I usually do with my students. Because I think that would be helpful, especially if anybody's like either doing an asynchronous course now or is thinking about doing asynchronous in the future. Is anybody else in here teaching asynchronous right now? Like you just have your course on Canvas. You don't
I have
meet at a
one.
certain time. You have one?
Yeah,
Okay. So maybe Hannah and Diane or Diana can meet up.
Dude, I'm right here.
definitely.
Okay. Well, now so I'm gonna use y'all as my examples today
Excellent.
when we get to the next section.
I
But
also had
okay,
a question.
yeah, go ahead.
Are these only pertaining to Zoom classes or in-person lab?
Any class, ideally where you're actually teaching, but as we just discussed, it's okay if it's asynchronous. So it's up to you. All right, let's see if we got any more on here, and then we'll move on. Okay. So this list will be here, and so later on, if you're watching this recording, you can maybe try to reach out to anybody that is and maybe I'll add something underneath that's a little bit more easier to read than this output, because this is just a whenever you input something into a form, it will output it as a spreadsheet. So this is Google's version of Excel called Google Sheets. Okay, keeping it moving. Let's talk about observations. Um, quick show of hands. Who in this room has had their teaching observed before?
I have.
Yeah. How was that experience? If anybody wants to hop off mute and explain or share.
Well, it depends on the situation. For like tenure
Mhm.
observations, those ones can be kind of more nerve-wracking than just a peer one. So, like with me and Deanna, I wouldn't be as, as nervous about it as I
Mm-hmm.
would be if it was like my dean or my tenure committee. So, I think it's going to be a lot more collaborative and it'll be fun.
Nice. I'm glad you said that. I think that yeah, there is a difference, and we are not trying to do like an evaluative. It's not like I'm evaluating, I'm watching this person and I'm going to tell the dean all the bad things I think. It's more reflective, collaborative. For me, whenever I watch another person teach, I always get like great ideas and I'm like, oh, I should be doing it that way. If somebody comes in to watch me teach, I'm gonna try my best. And any sort of feedback is helpful for me because as I was saying earlier, sometimes you don't know what your blind spots are. You don't know what your gaps are. And so to have another set of eyes on it, then that's better. Diana, I see you have your hand again. Is that just for saying that you've been observed, or do you have a question?
Actually, well, I already made a call on this, but are we needing to pick a date this week?
Oh, no. Whatever time is
Okay.
best for you.
Right. Well, then I put a date for this week, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Um, I think for the first time it should be y'all should try to find a time where you both are not working so that you can talk about what you would want to see in the observation. Okay. So has anybody in here observed another person, another instructor teaching a course? Like other than being a student, like as a peer? Yeah, Hannah? Do you what was that experience like?
We also co-teach in nursing. So
Hmm.
any faculty that's new will teach the same course together, and then I'll observe that faculty and give them feedback based on what they're doing. But I've also come around and just observed faculty intermittently in different roles that I've served within the department. Like when I was clinical coordinator, I would go around and see people at clinical and make sure that everything was going okay there with instruction on site and things like that.
Would you say that the people you were observing were nervous when you came in?
I think anytime someone's being observed, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but my goal is always to be collaborative about it and just to remind folks that it's not about like a punishment punitive situation. It's always about growth.
That's right.
And like you were saying, like anytime I watch someone, I'm actually taking notes and putting them in my pocket as well.
Oh
Like that's a
yeah,
great
yeah.
idea. I don't do that, right? I'm going to take that and see how it can work in my own classroom. So just because I'm in the role of observer doesn't mean that I'm also not learning from the situation.
Nice. Nice. I'm glad you said that. And especially if you're like teaching the same class, then I think it's really beneficial to see kind of how another person will handle the same information. And maybe you'll see the students and you're like, oh, they're really latching on to this delivery method or the way that this assignment is set up. So okay. Just going to read through this here. That's why the observations are worth it. Thank you all for sharing your real experiences. Back to the backyard. This is where the neighbor leans over the fence and says, "Your tomatoes are doing great, but that corner could use some more sun." Okay, so we're thinking about like somebody else coming in, looking at your garden. A peer observation is that, but for teaching, it's not an evaluation. As we've said a couple times here, it's a colleague who knows the work coming to see what you are growing and helping you to see what you cannot see from inside your own classroom. So we teach alone most of the time. I mean, obviously, some of y'all are team teaching, co-teaching. But I would say we rarely get honest, specific, friendly feedback on the actual moves we make in the classroom. An observation gives you that, a second perspective on the exact thing you already wanted to improve, plus the chance to learn by watching someone else teach. Both seeds being observed and observing are where the growth happens. The observations has three parts, and realizing now that the time is not right. It's actually 3 hours because it's 30 minutes to meet and talk with the observer about like what you're going to observe, but usually it's reciprocal. So you can still meet for that 30 minutes, and then one person is going to observe the other person, and then vice versa. That person will then observe them. And so then you will have the last 30 minutes is a post meeting where you are going to compare the notes, name what went well, and think about what your solutions would be, come up with some ideas. Okay. So add another hour in here for the reverse observation, if that makes sense. So hopefully that'll be fixed by the time people are watching the recording. So let me break this down for y'all real quick, especially for the pre-meeting and especially for this course. If y'all remember in week 1, I brought it up a little while ago, we had our inspection documents. And so if I were to just bring that up real quick, if I go to the inspection, we did this one. And I would say most of the people that are in here have done this. So nice job on that. Some people had to let you know, especially for the first week, you're going to have to put in the reflection because I want to know why you think you're only emerging in building human connections or why you're mastering inclusive language. And not only me, what the goal of this inspection document is, you've done it for your own. The person that is going to observe you will have a blank version of this, right? And so the way that I see the first pre-meeting going is you'll both come in with your inspection documents from week 1. One person will say, okay, here's what I put on my inspection document, and these are the reasons, and then kind of talk about it. Depending on time, maybe you just focus on the ones that you feel like you're emerging in, because those are the ones that the observer is going to be focusing on. So you can kind of tell like, okay, this is kind of where I feel like I'm lacking. Maybe you can focus on those ones. But at the same time, when they go to observe, they're going to be looking at all 10. Okay. So if you put that you're mastering, students can find what they need in Canvas each week without asking, then the person who's coming in to observe is going to check okay, can I find everything that I need in Canvas every week? Are the Canvas modules labeled nicely, or is it organized right? And so they're going to make their own judgment, for the last lack of better word, um, on how they feel that you're doing in each of these things, and then also write their reflection of it. Okay, so that's going to happen. Y'all going to go over your inspection documents, and then during the session, the person who's observing is going to be writing things down, and then they switch, and then the person's writing everything down. The post meeting is where you come back and you compare. You say, okay, this is my week one. This is the week one that you filled out for me. Let's see where it's the same and where it diverges. And then you just kind of compare line by line. And then you come together and say, okay, so we've identified that these are the things that I think that I need to improve more upon. And then same thing with the other person. And then that's like you've got another, like I said, another set of eyes, another brain that's thinking about um, how you're doing in your teaching practice. Okay. So let's see. Once again, this is what I was just explaining. This is observer comes in already holding the inspection document. And then during the class, observer looks for those things and then compare notes. Okay. Let's see what else is a second use for the same visit. If you have a CLO assessment that you need to run, schedule the observation around it. So y'all have, every semester you're assessing one of your course learning outcomes. So if you have, like we were talking about at in service where we looked at critical thinking and we did the alignment to the CWLO. Um, if you have like that class where you're assessing that CWLO, that would be good. Or if you're assessing a CLO in one way, that would also be good because that's another thing where you can point out and say, okay, this is how I'm going to assess my student to see if they met this outcome. And then if you have the observer come in, you could have them see if they agree that the students are meeting that outcome in the end. I'm not going to talk too much more about observations, but I will point out that in the PD Basecamp, which is a course that was made a while ago, and it was themed a certain way. So if you if you see this one, this was like back when AI image generation was just coming out. So, but images aside, there are some observation guidelines here, effective observation and feedback, and then the post-observation conference. There's just some good information, some good resources here. They've got videos. There's links down here for resources if you're interested in going a little bit deeper into what makes a good observation. This will be really helpful if you're still kind of like, I don't want somebody to come in and look at me teach. I mean, every day you got new student, well, not new students, but every quarter there's new students. And every day those students come in and are observing you teach. So maybe you can think of it like you've got somebody in your corner watching you teach that's gonna hopefully help you out. And let you know how you're doing. So if you can't access that link for the PD Basecamp, there is a link to self-enroll in Basecamp. It's a little bit out of date, this course. I think it was maybe 3 years ago we put it together. There's some pretty good information in there, and you can still get PD credit for going through it, but some of the exercises are like there. I think there's another like matching time sheet thing in here, so maybe you wouldn't need to do that, but there's also some good stuff about syllabi in there as well. So, okay, how are we thinking about for observations? Y'all excited? Y'all look excited. Yeah, nice. We got a thumbs up. Let's see here. Will they need to access to our course they will be observing? That's a good question. That's something that maybe you would need to talk to in that first meeting, because it might just be simply coming in and watching you teach, right? Like just going in physically in person. If there is some extra that needs to be done with Canvas, we can you can let me know. I can add people as observers inside of Canvas. So if you want to show somebody in your Canvas course something, we can work that out, but you got to let me know about that.
Isn't one of the markers about Canvas though? The self-assessment thingy majig.
Oh, for the first the
Mhm.
inspection? Let's see. I think it's okay because this is the Canvas and Course Excellence
Look at number
COP.
3. It says students can find what they need in Canvas.
Oh, that's
That's
access.
my, I mean, we could just make the decision that we don't want to worry about that or just have a conversation with them or in one of the meetings before or after have you take them through your Canvas if you want to do something like that. If giving everybody access is going to be a pain.
We could also just skip that one, and then I'm going to talk about it later, but I am also willing to take a look at anybody's Canvas course. I have a booking link where I can go over and I can do number 3 if y'all like, but just email me if you're going to be trying to do an observation and you need access to another person's course because I have the ability to put people into different courses.
But everybody's cool to skip it. If I mean, not me, obviously, since Canvas is my entire thing.
Yeah.
So, but everybody's cool to skip it if they don't, just for clarification's sake. If
Yes,
somebody like
yes,
doesn't,
yes.
okay.
If the Canvas thing is too much of a barrier, which it's okay. There's 9 other things to look at. So let's see, my course is accessible. I would say maybe if you're feel like you're emerging in these two, then I feel like it would be necessary to have another person go in and look at it. Uh, like I said, I'm gonna go in there too though, so it's really up to y'all how you want to play that one. So it's okay to skip 3 and 4 if you're not able to get somebody in your Canvas course. If you really want somebody to look in there, um, send an email to me and then I can have them added into the course. Okay. All right. So I was not able to make the matches, so let me see if I can do that for us real quick here. But I will show you. I'm going to use the example. Actually, you know what? I'll just use the. We had 2 people who said that they were going to possibly be available to observe each other's asynchronous courses. So let's say I'm gonna come out of the observation for a second and just say, let's say you want to meet with another person at the college. You can send them an email to find a time, or you can send them a calendar invite. Okay. And I'm going to go over that process with y'all real quick. And the way that we're going to do that is by starting with this one, going to cptc.edu, and then clicking on this email button up here at the top. Now you can go, let's see here, you can go into Outlook. Close up my, where can I go here where it's got nothing? FYI. Okay. So you could also do this in Outlook. So this is if you'll notice, it's pretty much exactly the same, except this is its own app, and then this is the browser version. Wow, nice. Chris is already on it. So once we get in here, we're going to click on, well, first of all, we need to make sure that we're in the calendar. So right now we're in Outlook. This is the email. But in order to get to the calendar, we're going to click this little calendar button. And then we are going to, oh, yeah, there it is. So open Outlook and go to calendar. This is the direct link to Outlook if you are in the course, but as I showed you, the CPTC is also another way to do it. I'm gonna click on the calendar, and then I'm going to click new event in the top left. Oh, doesn't like that I'm in here twice. I'm gonna click, what does it say here? New event. Okay. So with the new event window open, I'm going to give it a clear title. And so I'm going to say here, observation, pre-meeting. This is Hannah and Diana. Okay. In the invite required attendees box, start typing your partner's name and pick from the list. This is the step that makes the event with the other person. So if I was Diana, I would type in Hannah's name. If I was Hannah, I would type in Diana's name, whoever is the first person to do it. And then once you have those names in there, notice it's really easy to add a name. You can just start typing their name, and if they are an instructor at this college, it should come up. And then you're going to go to set the date and start time. Okay. So underneath where you add the person in, you're going to come and click on the time here. And then what you could do, if you do have that person's name in here and you didn't like go through the process of cross-referencing when they're available or when you're available, you could open up something called the scheduler. And when you're in the scheduler, it looks a little bit crazy, but you could find a time. So the way that the times work on here is that everybody's available schedule. If you think about, okay, so this is Monday, and then we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you try to find something, a time where somebody else is working or available. Okay. So like for example, I would say, let's see, we're all available at this time, Wednesday at 9. And so I'll click on Wednesday at 9, and I'll come back and you'll see that it says here Wednesday 7/22, 9 a.m. Okay. So that works with anybody, right? Anybody that you type into here. So let's say I want to get a meeting with Curtis. I can come over here to the scheduler and I can see, scroll over. Okay, I'm busy this time. And so you could see up here, if it's if this is filled in, that means that time is not available. This black is also not available. I can come in here and say, okay, let's see, Curtis looks like he's available at 1. Now, there's one caveat. If the other person doesn't fill out their calendar, like if they don't have their classroom on their calendar, they might not be available at that time. But that's okay too, because if I were to send this over to Curtis and this came up in his schedule and that's his class time, then he is able to reschedule. So he would just go in and look at that and say, no, I'm not available at this time. What about this time? And then it would kind of go back and forth from there. So that's how the scheduling works. That's called the scheduling assistant, and it or it's called the scheduler. Sorry, not the scheduling assistant, the scheduler. And then you can scroll across the bottom if you want to go to the next day. And once again, this black here, outside of working time, that's why nothing is able to be done at that time. And so it's like, okay, next Monday at 11, let's try this time. Or we can move it over to this time. Okay. And then just you want to go back, you don't want to send it yet. The back button will take you back to this where you're trying to set it up. You say, let's meet to talk about the observations. Okay. Last thing here, so you can add a location. If you want to do it in person, you're going to want to put the room there. So you can put the room. If you want to do it online, you would either put the Zoom link. So if I'm in here in Zoom, how do I find my Zoom meeting? Okay. So I'm in Zoom right now, and y'all aren't going to be able to see my Zoom. So I took this quick photo. Um, if you're ever in Zoom, like your own Zoom, like you could just open up a new Zoom, like just start a new meeting, and then you can click this shield with a check in it. That will give you the invite link. Anytime you want like to just send your regular uh room link, this is going to be your regular room link. So if I ever go to this one, this will just be my room. Um, and so that's the way, that's the meeting ID and the pass, but this link will automatically add in the passcode there. So that's just another little thing. If you didn't know how to find that in Zoom, that's one way. It's usually the way that I do it. Okay, so then, or you could just do Teams. Teams is, Microsoft. You should have it like installed on your computer. Um, and then let's meet to talk about the observations. So that is all you would need to do. And then Curtis, I'm going to send this to you. No, I'm not going to send this to you. I'm going to send this to nobody because I don't want y'all to have extra junk in your mailbox on your calendar. So, but that's the process. Okay. So I'm just gonna discard that. Okay, and then so once you set up the pre-meeting, find a time where you're both not working for the pre-meeting. Uh, Meet for those 30 seconds. Try to find an hour that you can go in to watch somebody else. You don't have to go for the full class, just 60 minutes, and then 60 minutes in reverse, and then 30 minutes for the post meeting. That will be an equivalent of 3 hours. That is on top of this course. So this is doing an observation while it's not required. It's suggested as a way for you all to grow. And so if you do it, I'm going to set up an assignment in this module. It's not there yet, but I don't think anybody's done the observations yet. So it'll be an assignment, and I'll make it worth 3 points for 3 hours. So if you can show proof that you observed somebody and they observed you, and you had the 2 meetings, then you can get 3 hours of professional development for that, in addition to the 20 that's for this course already. Okay. All right. So we have a little bit of time. I'm gonna try to find, like I said, try to put the matches together. But if anybody wants to hop off mute and say when you're available for someone to come and observe, we could do it that way as well. Or y'all can just wait while I try to put this list together for you.
Ronald, do we
Yes.
need to include you in the meeting invite to prove that we have done this? Is that
No. Oh,
because I saw
I don't.
you when you were emailing in the example you had, you know, 2 people. So I'm gonna
No,
send
you don't need to include me. That's
okay,
fine.
thank you. I'm sending you an invite, Deanna. What time on Wednesdays work best? I'm looking at the
Well,
29th.
the 29th. pretty open these days. So if you have more constraints, we could go with your schedule.
Okay,
But
sounds good. Thank you.
mhm.
Does anybody else? Oh, yeah, Anne Marie.
Sorry, this might be off topic and it may be explained in the other videos, but for the portfolio, is this required as a part of this course, creating a portfolio?
Yeah, the portfolio is automatic now, apparently.
It's not
So
automatic from
no,
when I
if you
tried
if
to.
you if you submit your inspection document, it will add it to the portfolio that has been created for this course. If you want to
Okay,
create an additional portfolio, that's up to you, but it's not
okay.
required
Oh,
or
great. That's what I wanted to know. I
yep.
don't necessarily want to. I hope that
Yeah,
doesn't
I
offend
didn't
anyone.
I didn't think
Okay.
so, but all right. I'm almost done here with this All right, so while that's I've got something cooking up right now. I do want to say here for if you look under event 7, uh so the first observation is instructor and instructor, okay? Super low pressure. Um the second one is where it's you and me and also low pressure. Uh I just want to see kind of what's going on in your Canvas course. So I'm mainly going to be interested. I don't want to watch you teach. I mean, I would love to watch everybody teach, but I don't have time to watch everybody teach. But I can go through your Canvas course with you. And if there are problems you're having, or maybe there's something really cool that you want to share, you can sign up here to meet with me. This is a booking link, and everybody has a booking link of their own. You just have to go to, I think this is it, bookings.cloud.microsoft. Once you're logged in, and you can go in and you can set up a time for people and a link so that when they click on the link, it will open up with what I just had, which I'm not able to get back to. Let me try that again. Okay, so if you click the link, then it will say, okay, 30 minutes. You can set up a 30-minute meeting and say, oh, okay, Ronald's available at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. You click on that one. Next, you're going to write your name in here and then click book. Derek, do you have a question?
Yeah, thanks. So is the observation with you, the instructional design observation, is that like in addition to the like sort of in person or someone is on Zoom, like that the
Yeah, that would
okay.
be an additional one.
Okay.
And the way that one would work is kind of, I would just probably go look at your inspection document from week 1. And then I would just go through and kind of look at those things. And maybe I'll go to number 1 and say, hey, is this something that you do? Um, can I'll ask if you do it in your class, but then also I'll ask you to show it to me if there's any instance of it would be in your Canvas.
Sure. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yep. All right, I got a couple of matches here. I'm seeing that there are some overlap for let's see here. So Diana's already taken. Sorry, Derek. But we've got Chris Saucedo and Dean Macy. It looks like there's some overlapping times here. So I don't know if that is overlapping, meaning that you all can observe at that time. But maybe y'all can reach out to each other and see if you all are interested. Earl, Joy, and Hannah is another
Yeah,
match.
I've got Greg on my schedule there,
Nice.
Ronald, already.
Okay.
I don't think he's gotten in there yet, that's all.
Perfect. That's all good.
Yep.
Nice. And then Sally and Karen was a recommendation, and then I got mixed in here with Hannah and Deanna. Derek, actually, I'm not like I don't know why I'm. Oh, I didn't tell the AI that I'm not able to do it, so that's why I'm still being matched. Okay. So once again, if you can find somebody and find a time, I'll have the discussion board. Maybe we can utilize the home board, which I haven't checked the home board in a while. So if you have been putting something in there, I apologize, but I'll make sure to go and check it after this. Maybe in the home board, y'all can say something like, I'm looking for somebody to observe me at this time. And then another person look at it will be like, okay, I'm not teaching at that time. I can observe you. Would you like to observe me at this time? So you could do a little, connection through the week 3 home board if you're looking for that for observations. The inspection this week looks like this. I know which area of my teaching I most want a colleague to observe from my week 1 home inspection. I understand the 3 parts of the observation. In-class visit is once again 2 times because each person has to observe. And then now hopefully you know how to do the calendar event, and you can kind of go through the rest of those. Next week we are starting our community of practice preview sessions. So we're kind of leaving the base floor of this home, and we're going upstairs. And so for the next 5 weeks, we're going to be looking at the different communities of practice that are aligned with the CARES goals for the college. So starting with C, the community room, and caring course design. We have a couple minutes left if there's any questions.
I'm not seeing the form,
Which one?
the week 3.
Which
Bye-bye,
form?
everybody.
Oh, yeah. If you gotta go, you gotta go. If
The
there's
home
no questions,
inspection,
yeah, see ya.
your home inspection this week.
You're not seeing
I'm-
the link is
Yeah,
not
where's
working?
the link?
Da,
It
da,
could be
da.
me. I'm totally.
No, should be there. Is it not this button? It's if you go next to the next page, it's on the next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's right there. Home
Got
inspection.
it. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate your time. And I'll see y'all next time.
Can I ask a quick question? I didn't want to.
Sure. Let me